You're listening to Jonesies Jukebox on KLOS. How are you? That was Blur. There's no other way. And before that was TV on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf Like Me. We're here with Sklar Brothers.
Sklar Brothers.
That's what I said. So let me finish. For
I
Christ's
knew
sakes.
there was no chance with 3 consonants in a
That's
row
a
that
lot
you were
to
pulling
ask.
that off.
Sklar.
There you go.
Sklar.
Yeah.
Sklar Brothers.
Yeah.
Randy and Jason.
What's up, Jonesy?
He's a big fan of ours.
How are you?
We're
Great.
great. So happy to be here. We listen to this show. We love this show. We listen to you and we like you. So there.
You're not just saying that.
I'm not just saying that. Because
I'm
there was
going to quiz you.
well, there's a point where like you're listening to radio and you're like, it's all the same.
Yeah.
And then you actually hear something that's a little bit different or something that it's its own thing.
Yeah.
And originality as comedians, that's the most important thing in the world. Yeah. How original can you be? If you're doing other people's material, we're not going to listen to it.
We always listen to Jonesies Jukebox.
Jonesies Jukebox.
You're
is our
funny.
favorite.
guy.
What? Why? Sorry.
Jonesys Jukebox.
Jonesies Jukebox.
Jews box. It's why Jews are on the show.
And that's why
We
he
put
allowed
2
both of us to be on it.
Jews.
Is that a Jewish name, Sklar?
Sklar. Yeah, it means glass blower. So how we got into comedy, I have no idea.
Why aren't you at the temple right now?
Oh, we did it yesterday.
Did it, man.
And then we got booked on this today, and we said God will
Some things are
understand.
more important than God.
God will understand.
Yeah, I'm on the juice box.
We're on the Jews box. It's the next best thing. It's temple adjacent. It's next door to the temple.
Oh, man. So what's happening?
We're good, man. We're just, doing stand-up comedy, trying to create comedy and go out into
We
the
did
world.
2 albums. We released 2 albums this year,
Which is comedians is hard. It's hard because it takes us 2 years to like come up with a whole new album of material that you sort of go out on the road, you test out, and then you put it out there. But we
So
did
it's live. It's live stuff.
All of it live.
All of it live. We tape it at recorded at a club. We did a special that was on Stars in May, and that was called Hipster Ghosts. Because we were talking a little bit before. I live in Silver Lake, a lot of hipsters. Because we were talking about just on and that was the name of the album, but it was just born out of the idea that people die and everybody says, oh, okay, you think of like ghosts as like an 1870s sea captain with the mutton chops and the epaulets, and you're like, that's it. But no, God is making new ghosts every day.
Anyone can become a ghost.
Anytime someone dies, like hipsters are going to become. Can you imagine how terrible that
Anything
would
worse
be
than that?
to have your house haunted by a hipster ghost? You hear a sound at 3 a.m, you come downstairs, you just see a hipster ghost just going through your record collection, judging you like, ooh, boo, boo. You're like, yeah, I bought a Hall & Oates album for $1.99 at a garage. Why are we having this discussion
We
right
don't
now?
have to justify ourselves to you.
Now, listen, was that part of it?
Yeah. Judging by your laughter, yeah, that was part of it.
Yes, it was.
Appreciate that.
Yes,
See,
it
that
was.
was funny.
Yeah, see. So we did that. We did that album, and then we did a project that I think you would dig because just from being on the road, I do think that people who do the road for music and comedy get to see this country in a way that most people don't.
Right.
And
Because
so
you'll be at a city that you probably wouldn't travel to were it not for the gig, the show.
like, would we
Like,
go to
like where?
Would we go to?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I actually...
I love Tulsa. We didn't
There's
know.
some real Art Deco stuff there.
Kane's
Yeah.
Ballroom is pretty damn sweet.
Yeah, there's
as
a-
I know you know.
There's a hole in the wall there.
Hole in the wall.
Apparently, I don't know.
Well, they moved it to the office. Someone
Yeah.
I think we know punched a hole in that wall.
But we were there. That was really, really great. We got recognized in Tulsa.
This was nice. We got recognized. We were walking down the street, and a guy pulls up in a car, sees the two of us, pulls over to us, rolls down his window, and looks at the two of us, and is like, "Get out of here, Jews!"
It was yeah.
It's like, "Thank you so much. It feels so nice to be recognized for our work."
We went really Jewish on the show.
I know. I don't know
no,
why
but no, but it was really cool. But we probably wouldn't have gone there. For
So
that.
we went to 10 cities, and in every city, we're like, okay, let's give ourselves a challenge. Plane lands on Thursday, or however long we're there for the gigs. Can we write 10 minutes of material about this town, what they're experiencing, what they're feeling right now, what we experience as outsiders coming in? Can we do that in the 10 cities? And we'll sort of make a little documentary about it. Each city is a chapter. It's on audible.com right now. And then we'll pull the best 6 minutes of material out of each of those cities.
And make an album.
Each track is like Tulsa, Kansas City,
Yeah.
Denver. It's like we were in Denver and we were like, where should we go to eat? And everyone's like, you got to go to Casa Bonita, which is like this Mexican restaurant that has cliff diving inside of it.
Yeah, because when you eat Mexican food, you want to smell chlorine.
Right.
while
So
you're eating.
we go there and we're like, should we go? It's called Casa Bonita. Everyone is like, you got to go to Casa Bonita.
And then the next thing they said was, don't eat there.
Do not eat there. We're like,
Yeah,
we're
it's a
"You know-
restaurant, right?"
Yes, you got to go to Casa Bonita. Do not eat there.
You cannot eat there.
Even we showed up and the people are like, welcome to Casa Bonita. Do not eat here.
Do not.
Even the people diving were like, don't eat here. Got me off the cliffs. The guacamole's made in a trash can.
It was terrible.
The Tulsa, my mate Danny Boy from House of Pain, he's resurrected The Outsider's House. Remember that?
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
daughter's reading that book right now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So Tulsa apparently, and
Very
this is-
flat. Tulsa.
Yeah.
It's flat.
No hills.
But you're right
some
about
good
the Art Deco
because they had a lot of money from the oil industry
Right.
in the 1920s. So what happened recently is that there was a guy who's a philanthropist, a guy with a ton of money, who said, I'm going to just invest all my money in the arts in Tulsa. So artists can now live in Tulsa rent-free.
Now.
In the
Right
Brady
now.
Arts District,
In
yeah.
the Brady Arts District, you can live rent-free, and you can...
You just have to participate once a month in an art show. Like downstairs, you open the garage and it's an art walk.
It's an art walk downtown. And so, of course, when artists are there, you get a good coffee shop, then you get a good restaurant, then you get a good bar, then you get and suddenly that area around Cain's, that area around Cain's Ballroom is phenomenal.
Ain't
It's great.
artists hipsters?
They can be unless they're. I mean, I don't know if they're.
Depends how
trying.
much they're
To me,
trying.
a hipster is someone who's trying to
Yeah,
be an
what
artist.
is-
But okay, to me, a hipster is someone who is trying to be as cool as an artist without the artistic
without any
talent.
talent. It's like, yeah, anyone can write
He's read books but never done anything.
yeah, it's
That's
like
it.
so big deal. You're riding a recumbent unicycle. I don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's like
It's not that cool. But for us, we're like, if you make something and you set a trend, maybe you're not setting out to be a hipster. Like, we have friends in the band Tennis. I don't know if you know that band Tennis. They're from Denver. They're
yeah.
fantastic husband and wife. They're two of the coolest people we know. I don't think they're trying to be cool.
They're not trying to be cool.
I
They're just like, this is who we are.
They're
And you kind of are
unique
like
artists.
You're not worrying about the choices you're making. You're just making those choices.
So if there's any hipsters listening right now,
So we're sorry.
are they saying, oh, he's not talking about me?
Of course.
Of course, no one thinks they're talking
Every
about them.
this is the other thing we feel like the world is getting dumber as we speak.
I
feel like
totally agree with you.
either that or dumb and smart are fighting, and dumb just has like drunk dumb strength and is just beating it. Or
We said that smart is like a bunny rabbit.
and dumb just keeps petting it too hard, and you're like, stop doing it. He's like, he likes it.
He doesn't like it.
He loves it.
He does not like it.
So I do believe that it's just getting dumber, and you tell people that they're dumb, or you talk about dumb people, and they're
everyone
like,
thinks you're talking about
You're not
someone
talking
else.
about me.
Right.
That's my cousin Ricky.
I often talk about douchebags.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they don't believe that. No one ever believes that, oh, yeah, I'm a douchebag.
I'm that guy.
That's me. I do that. No one ever says that.
So like a real classic douchebag is driving down the street listening to Jonesys Jukebox, and I say, I can't stand douchebags.
Douchebags. And
He
he's
goes,
like-
yeah.
Yeah. That's right. right?
Right on.
And then throw his, like, McDonald's thing right out the window.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even checked the news, but I'm willing to bet that right now in Tampa, Florida, there's probably a naked guy with a machete taking a crap in someone's pool that isn't his.
Yeah.
Like, that's happening.
Above ground pool.
That's how dumb we are right now.
Yeah.
Celebrating.
It gets a bad rap, doesn't it, Florida?
Florida does get a bad rap, but I think a lot of it is deserved. I mean, you get down there and it's just...
It does feel like it's not part of any country, doesn't it?
I don't know. I've really never spent any time
Oh,
there.
we've spent time down there.
It's pretty bad. And, they revealed their police blotter, so that's one of the reasons why.
You
They let
hear
that
all
be
the
public.
They let that be public. It's like, so some states don't even let their police blotter be public.
What's the
but
police blotter?
It's like all the
all
hey,
the
this guy got
crazy-
arrested for this
Oh,
reason.
like
and this,
pedophile thing?
yeah, or
anything.
anything. So like, hey, this woman got drunk and naked and slipped out of her cuffs and then tried to tase the cops, and like that's written up and that's released out for the public to see. That's Florida for you.
Is it a lot of old people? That's what I see Florida, like old, retired.
There's a lot of old people, but they're in bed by 5, and then Florida comes to life with like people who are trying to have sex with alligators.
Yeah. So is there any states you haven't got? It's 50 states, right? in the
50
US?
We haven't been to
states.
Maine yet.
We haven't been to Maine.
Oh, I'd like to go there.
Yeah,
love
I
to
would
go
love
there.
to go there.
It's a little. I mean, it's crazy because it's so far up. It's,
Cold.
Yeah, it's like I feel like next door to Nova Scotia. It's like in an
Yeah.
area that you're just sort of like nobody really goes up there. So they're like, we can do whatever we want. Like we can eat baby hair up here, and you're like, no, you can't.
No.
Don't do that, please.
We can eat lobsters up here.
Yeah,
And they do.
and they do.
Well, I know that's when I said that. We're going to play some music.
Let's do it.
We're here with the Sklar Brothers.
There we go.
Schuyler Brothers couldn't make it. We showed
the
up.
Sklar Brothers showed
Yeah.
up in their stead.
The other dudes are in the temple.
Yeah.
This is Lou Reed doing the things that we want to. Jonesys Jukebox, KLOS. You're listening to Jonesys Jukebox on KLOS with my guest, the Sklar Brothers.
That's right. Beautiful. Nicely done.
Fantastic.
It's good music, by the way. A nice block of music that we just enjoyed
I know why you enjoyed some of it.
because we picked it.
We
Yeah.
forced it on you.
Bob Dylan standing in the doorway from the album Time Out of Mind.
Which, by the way, on the cover of Street Legal, the album that we love from 1979, he's literally standing in a doorway, looking to his left.
See?
He was like, "I love this on this cover. I should write a song about it
In 20 years.
in 6, 17, 18 years," and then he did.
Hey. Elvis Costello, You'll Never Be a Man in thingies.
Off of Trust, great album, great album, great song.
You picked that one.
I picked that song. I feel like it's an oft. People don't know that song, and it's just him. There's a thing.
There's a performance of Elvis Costello on the
Tom Snyder.
Tom Snyder where he does what's the song that he does?
What's so funny about
No,
Nope.
it wasn't that. It was God, I can't even remember the song, but they did a sort of stripped down version of it, and it was so good. And
Allison?
first, no,
Nope,
it wasn't
not Allison.
Allison.
It's off of Trust.
Oh, what else is on that album?
I'll find it. It was the last song on the album, and it is stripped down, and it's beautiful. I'll find it right now.
And it is such a great version of that. And in the moment, you just realize how talented he is because it's not about. He can do it on a stripped down level. He can do it on the loudest level, and he was just fantastic.
No, he's good.
I'll find it.
He's I think he's sick. I think he's got some cancer.
Does he really?
That's what I heard.
Bummer. No.
I hope that's not true.
I don't know. I just made it up.
Okay.
Please don't make that up. Watch your step.
No, I heard.
Watch your step.
Watch your step with
That's
that
the name of the
making
song.
us-
Watch your step is what he did.
Oh,
But
that
also-
was the song?
That was the
I
song he
thought
did.
you were telling me.
It's a hey, Jonesy.
Hey,
watch
York
your
is
step.
going to turn around. You're going to have cancer.
No,
Don't.
Oh, stop it.
Don't
Stop
say
it.
that.
Don't say it.
Then we had Lou Reed doing the things that we want to do from the album New Sensations.
Phenomenal again, and a later Lou Reed album.
Yeah.
So New York. Everything.
Beautiful.
I just think Lou Reed is New York. Like
He is.
Like if
You
a
know what
city
it's-
could be a person.
And
it
by
would
the way,
be him.
you know what it's like, and I think of it. It's almost like Richard Linklater, the guy who did that movie Boyhood. He did Dazed and Confused, and he did Slacker, and all these great movies. So he does Boyhood, which is probably his most studio. I mean, he did this. It was an incredible feat in filmmaking in that he had the same cast over the course of 16 years, and you would literally watch these people 12 years. You watch them grow up, and I'm sure he got a ton of notes. So then his next movie that he makes is Everybody Wants Some, which is about a college baseball team. And like there are scenes in that movie where it's like 20 minutes of just a college baseball team practicing. You know that like if he got any notes from anybody, he was like, screw you, I'm not going to take any of your thoughts or notes. So that was literally exactly the movie that he wanted to make, and that's why it's so fun to watch. Same with these albums, these later albums by these guys, Dylan and Lou Reed. Not that they would get notes, but there was like less of a spotlight on them, so they're like, oh, I'm going to make the songs I want to make, and so
Yeah.
they tend to be a lot better.
Yeah.
I love that I'm telling this guy about music.
Yeah. Keep explaining how
You
music
want to explain
works
music to Jonesy a little more?
Randy.
Fine, I will.
Yeah. So how else does music
Well,
work?
listen.
Look,
explain it to you.
gives you a visceral
Let me explain to you the
reaction.
punk scene in England in the 1970s.
Yeah, please. I'd like to.
No, it was just a
It
time
was
when
a
people
time
wanted to
when-
buck the
look,
system.
It was a
and
time
I
where
just-
people were just.
They were ready. Youthful energy was bursting.
I don't know if
through
you
a
understand the
repressive
word
society.
anarchy, but-
Look, we'll explain it to you later.
Trash bags everywhere.
Everywhere. Riots in Brixton, that was the 80s.
Yeah, it's all fun.
The good old days.
Have you been to the Brixton Market?
The Brixton Market. I've been to Brixton Academy.
Brixton Cat, around the corner from there is the Brixton Market, which is my wife's brother lived in Brixton and recently, and then he just moved. But I mean, when we visited him there maybe 5 years ago, probably one of the coolest markets in all of London.
You mean it's like a
It's like a
sell everything?
yeah.
market.
They're like the
But, like,
best.
there's good food.
Right,
There's
so it's like
amazing
the best
restaurants.
little tavern in the
Sure.
entire city is like right here next to a fish store and 3 wig shops.
Yeah.
You're like, God, who is putting this thing together? But it's great.
Have you ever had pie and mash?
Yeah,
You have. I haven't.
it's good.
You've had it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Explain to me what it looked like.
Pie and mash.
Yeah, you
It's
haven't-
mashed
You haven't
potatoes,
had it.
shepherd's pie, and mashed
No.
potatoes. No.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
No, it's an English. It's a London thing, actually. It's not.
What is it?
It's pie and mash shops. It consists of a pie, a meat pie.
What's a
meat pie,
shepherd's?
shepherd's pie?
No, shepherd's pie. All right.
Jason.
Look, they're telling me
Stop.
again.
Jesus.
Telling me about punk. They're telling me about pie and mash shops.
All right.
Sometimes
meat
you-
pie, a meat pie, and what's on top?
It's kind of mincemeat, mashed potato, and then this stuff called liquor, which was green parsley sauce that was made from potato water. And they would pour tons of vinegar and pepper, and that's all this place would sell. You go in there, you get to the counter, 2 pie and mash, please. You get your pie and mash, you go and sit down and
With
eat 'em.
utensils, or you're just eating it straight?
No,
like
no,
it's
you get tonsils.
Yeah, you're not a heathen.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
civilized
It's
race.
London.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
But you got to check it out.
I'm in.
I'm
in.
all-
All that sounds great.
Talking about it
Is
makes
making
me
you
saliva.
mouth water? Yeah.
And by the way, you described what's in it. You said there's minced meat. It's in a pie form with
Mashed potatoes,
Mashed
and then the
potatoes.
water from the potatoes makes a parsley sauce.
By the way,
None of that
most of the
sounds good.
things you described are also in shepherd's pie.
No.
So yes. No.
I'm
Here we
googling
go.
chocolate pie.
Here we go. Yeah, come on.
Google it.
Tell me more about my heritage. I'm dying to
I'm
know.
happy to. I'm happy to. What else do you want to know? What else
That's what we're here for. We're like human Google.
You really are.
We really are.
Talked about middlemen earlier.
Jeez, we were.
What else? What else is middlemen?
We said Uber was sort
Uber's
of
a middleman,
You
somewhat.
said FedEx. You brought-
Airbnb's a middleman.
Airbnb is a middleman of sorts. Just in
Google,
terms of like
FedEx. They actually do something though.
Right.
They actually do something. Like Airbnb, they don't do nothing. It's a phone call or an email. That's all they do. FedEx actually
they
moves
take a
stuff
thing
around.
and move it around.
That's that. I take them out of that box.
You say middleman, and then there's like, there are moments where I always love when you're watching on TV, and there's like, hey, have you ever? You need to spray your gutters and get them in a different way. I'm like, when was this a problem?
You mean what infomercial?
Yeah, they make
gotta
you think you need something.
This is
that you
now
don't
the
need.
biggest. To me, that's my favorite part of any of those commercials, and I'll sit and watch them just because I'm like, I want to see how.
I like the formula.
How dystopian the society you create before you need the actual
Before
thing
you
that
save
they
us.
give.
with
I
your
love
gutters.
It's like Mad Max. You got like literally
Yeah.
you don't have enough Tupperware, and all of a sudden like Tina Turner is just sliding in on a thing, and there's like a Thunderdome, and people are fighting it out. You're like, oh, you need one Tupperware that goes into 50.
I like the formula on the infomercials. First of all, when it ain't working, it's
Black and white. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Guys just like losing control.
Then all of a sudden, it's
color.
color.
It's color.
And there's fruit and vegetables in the back.
I know.
Wizard of Oz.
Suddenly the
It's
set
the-
is styled.
It's the Wizard of Oz.
But you know they're appealing to, though. Old people.
Yes.
That's right. Old people and most old people.
But old people, I feel like old people in about 25 years or 15 years are not going to be the same old people as old people. from
Although,
before.
can I just say this? What was the thing that most old people maybe 10 years ago were afraid of? Robots. They're like, robots are going to take over the world. If you think about it, AI is going to take over the world. So, like, we were all making fun of old people being like, the robots are coming to get us. That is exactly what is going to happen.
Yeah.
AI is going to come, and we are going to, no more Jonesys Jukebox. There'll be a little computer that kind of simulates Jonesy's voice, and then boom, he's
they're going
done.
to pull all of his quotes.
Pull all of his,
and
they're
mash
gonna be
them
like,
into.
AI would be like, Jonesy would say this at this point, and then boom, there you go.
You mean it would sound like, you know the thing that we use at 1 o'clock? Oh, have you got that?
That is literally going to now host the show, and I hope everybody's ready for it. I'm not ready for it.
And it'll
But the
take,
whole-
it'll
all
take
I'm
clips
saying
from
is-
different things. It'll be like, I could really use some pie and mash, like from 2 different shows.
Just cut it up.
and then that's
Pie and mash.
Like when you get the address from the Google.
Right.
And it doesn't kind of sound
It sounds like
correct.
2 pieces
Yeah.
came smashed
And
together.
they spliced-
Smashed.
So they spliced it together.
You got it? Let's hear this.
Let's hear it.
Jonesys Jukebox is brought to you by our title sponsor, the law offices of Sweet James Bergner. This is KLOS at KLOS HD1 Los Angeles.
Okay, now
That's just a guy who
More
smoked too much.
Jonesys Jukebox.
he's got
He's
the microphone.
got his fingers on his throat.
He's talking through here. I love Jonesys
3
Jukebox.
weeks ago, the American spacecraft Discovery 1
Okay.
left on its half-billion-mile voyage to Jupiter. This marked the first manned attempt to reach this distant planet. Earlier this
To
afternoon,
Jupiter.
we were-
That is a waste of That's too far.
Is that a Jewish place?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. It's
All Airbnbs half price.
the whole planet. The whole planet is shut down 27 days a year for holidays.
That's right.
Oh,
Come on.
excellent. So listen, what you got there, Shovel? What you think we've been to the moon?
Do I think we've been to the moon?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't think that you think
Why?
they faked it?
Why do you think that? Because you were told.
No. I just think that's not that it's impossible to fake that, but I definitely think I didn't think it was.
I feel like they hide stuff that they don't want you to know, but they don't. But when they succeed, they're going to make a big deal out of it for a century.
Do you think the Earth's flat?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Do you know there's people who swear
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie
Flat
Irving.
Earth Society.
That's what I call someone who I feel like in the face of overwhelming scientific evidence, they just want to believe that they're like, I call those people flat earthers.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at the truth, so you're going to make up your own thing. You are a flat earther. It's like a mouth breather. You're a flat earther.
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe in the earth is flat, I'm like, you're a flat earther.
They believe it's round, but they believe it's like
It's like
flat.
a coin.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
could fall right over.
Exactly.
Sure, that makes sense.
Because when anybody says that, you're like, okay, your brain isn't developed enough to handle this concept that right now I'm standing at some point I'm standing on the earth, and because of gravity, if it wasn't here, I would fly off into space,
Yeah.
but it's here, so I'm here.
But
can't handle it.
But what I don't understand is, okay, it's flat.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is someone hiding
Don't
something?
travel all
Yeah.
the way over here because you're going to fall off and that's the end.
Yeah, what
Is
does
it?
that protect?
Is it? Are they saying they believe it's flat because of religion? Is it like a religious thing?
If you say
Yeah, what
it's-
is the gain of actually
yeah.
winning that claim?
Yeah.
That it's
they're-
flat.
They feel like the earth is like a giant infinity pool. Like the ocean just goes over the edge and then gets recycled.
Or is
they
that a
they
way-
say there's walls,
There's
There's
walls.
walls.
big ice walls that surround it. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
The flat Earth.
I wish I could believe in something so insane as that and just wholeheartedly believe in it.
But then,
I can't.
on the
I
other
can't.
hand, it is insane that we're in a ball and there's these other planets and it's all gravity. That sounds insane too.
But I'm
Totally
willing
insane.
to believe in that insanity. That insanity
more
makes more
people
sense.
believe that.
That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm happy to believe in that insanity.
But,
versus
you know
the
what?
other.
Either way, I don't care. I'm breathing. I wake up. I go to sleep. That's all I care
That's
about.
all you care about.
How lucky are we? We can live on this thing, whatever you want to call it, this flat thing.
This flat round Earth.
We can live on this flat round earth and breathe air and show up to Jonesy's Jukebox and do fun
Jonesy's
stuff.
Jukebox.
Jonesy's Jukebox.
And teach him about shepherd's pie. I
my
mean, this is a
favorite
great
I know,
world that
and
we
punk
live
rock.
in. It's like a punk rock, shepherd's pie, the Sklar Brothers teaching Jonesy about it all.
Yeah,
it's a great world.
It's not shepherd's pie. It's pie and mash.
Pie and
I know it's pie and
mash.
mash.
We're going to play some Neil Young.
Let's do it. My choice.
Jason's choice.
And what's it called?
It's called Everybody Knows. Parenthetical. This is nowhere.
Jonesys Jukebox, KLOS. You're listening to Jonesys Jukebox on KLOS. That was The Clash. Guns of Brixton, featuring Paul Simonon on vocals. Then we had the Beach Boys.
Sailor Sailor from Holland, that album.
You picked that one?
I picked that one out. I love that song, and again, doesn't get play. And that album is great and weird. There's like a poem at the end of the first side of
Yeah.
just weird.
Then we had Neil Young. I've mentioned that one already.
sure.
So listen, what you got going on?
We were just on the latest season of Roast Battle on Comedy Central. We roasted each other. You can see that online. We were on the History of Comedy on CNN. It's there in this latest season, so you can watch that on an episode about duos.
Which was
tunes.
really cool. But talk about like kind of the modern team, and they featured us on that, which was awesome.
And then we're on the road. We're doing shows in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where we went to college.
The 21st and 22nd, we're in Ann Arbor at a great club called the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. Then in October, we're in Boulder, Colorado, and Denver, and then Phoenix. And you can go to supersklars.com and check it
Okay.
out.
Well, we're going to visit the Duke. When we come back, we'll do some more shtick.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You're listening to Jonesys Jukebox on KLOS with the Sklar Brothers.
Beautiful. Please. And the more, can we tell you about the best pronunciation of our name after you read what song that was that we just heard?
What?
We'll tell you the story, but read the who
Okay,
was
that was Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. A track called Jubilee Street.
good, haunting lyrics.
Love him.
He's
The haunting
playing the Forum
Phenomenal.
Which you said he was at the Greek. So Nick Cave must be doing pretty well if he's jumping venues.
You know what
like
it is?
that.
You know what it is? Nick Cave can only sell out the Greek. The bad seeds can sell out the Forum. It has nothing to do with Nick Cave. It's all about the bad seeds.
So the bad seeds are pulling the truck here.
I saw him in Ear One, and he had a big shopping cart full of stuff, so he's doing good.
Was he wearing like a long black heavy wool trench coat?
I can't remember. No, just low key. But he didn't have his the usual black jacket and garb on.
Duster.
But I mean, is you know what I just say?
He was in a whole shopping cart.
It was like a mountain
Of stuff.
I couldn't believe
Maybe
it.
he was part of a scavenger hunt.
I don't know what he was doing.
Go to Air One, pick up. Like I didn't even know you could get that much food there. By the way, you see people walking
He's
around.
filling
Air
the
One.
cave. That's what he's doing. He's literally filling
You
the
got to
cave.
fill the cave. He's got to fill the Nick Cave. Meanwhile, you see people walking around Air One with like a whole cart with like
You know what it is?
one sprout in the center of it. I'm like, you don't need a cart for that.
The seeds were bad, so he had to get some new ones.
There it is.
That's right. You always got to replace
Boom.
those seeds.
All right, tell him about the name where we got screwed up. So
Jason was in the valley. He was in the valley. You tell the story. It happened to you.
when was this?
Denzel?
Oh, I was not in the valley. I was actually on this side of town. I had to pee, and I went into a store, and because I had gotten a shirt from that store, and I felt like I could go in the store again. They'll let me in, so I go in the
They
store.
owe you.
They owe me. I peed in the. I peed.
Not in the store. You peed in the
I
bathroom.
didn't pee on the shirts, but I peed in the bathroom. I come out. There's one guy in the store. One guy and the woman who works in the store. It's Denzel Washington. Now,
Denzel Washington.
I'm not going to not say hi to Denzel Washington. So I, strike up a conversation. We start talking about the clothes, how this, that, the other. He starts talking about this. He says, I said, I have a brother. He said, you look familiar. I said, I have a brother. We did a show on ESPN, sports and comedy. Oh, yeah, I know. My son plays sports. And we start getting into it. And then as we're leaving, he's like, what's your name? And I'm like, the Jason Sklar. We're the Sklar Brothers. One syllable. Sklar Brothers. He looks at me and he's like, the Sklar Brothers. The Sklar Brothers. He added a syllable to my last
And you're
name.
like, I guess that's how we call ourselves.
I think
from here
I've
on
been
out.
doing it wrong for
If
46
Denzel
years.
Washington calls you the Sklar Brothers.
And you can look at that clip on YouTube. There's actually a clip because paparazzi were like pasted against the window watching him have this weird
As
conversation.
he is
with me.
totally reconfiguring the molecular structure of our name.
So you changed it.
Change it. We are now the
We had
Sklar
the
Brothers.
Sklar Brothers.
Makes it easier. I
You
think.
kind of said it that way, so I give you Denzel like props.
Props.
See?
Yeah.
Nicely
See what
done.
I do for you guys.
Look what you did. So
Take
easy.
you around with us, Jonesy.
So, what was we talking about off the watches? No.
I can't even remember.
We were talking about so much stuff. We were talking about Brian Wilson, how you saw him at a restaurant not far from your house.
No, he goes there every morning.
And what does he
and
get?
orders the exact same thing.
It's like something. It's like hardly anything. It's like a bit of fruit and some cereal or something. It's the same thing every time. The woman just brings it. He doesn't even.
doesn't
have to
even order.
He just sits down
In a
in a
robe.
little seat.
Is he wearing a robe? I want him to be wearing a robe.
He's not wearing clothes.
He's.
I want him to be wearing a house coat so badly, but I'm sure he's not.
No, it didn't stick out.
He's
anything.
going out of the house now. Let's just be honest.
Well, listen.
He's there.
And I saw him drive off, so he can't be that.
You're
Not
saying
bad.
it could be an act.
Seeing him drive,
Everything he's done.
By
could
the way,
be-
you said you saw him drive off like he was blind, and you just saw him drive like a blind man driving, like you saw Ray Charles just drive off,
Well, he acts like
like he
can't
can't handle anything.
Yeah, he's he's like a kid kind of
He
mentality.
is like a kid.
He's like a mean kid with his little bit of cereal, and he gets up and he leaves in a big black Mercedes, and he's driving. I'm like, this guy ain't.
Can't happen.
This is all shtick.
If I see
I'm
that-
crazy.
If I see that, I'm like, I'm not driving for at least 15 minutes. Nowhere
I
near
gotta
that guy.
let Brian Wilson clear the roads.
Let the Wilson thing clear out, and then I'll drive.
like a Category 5 Wilson
So
blowing
you
through
got a
this
Wilson
town.
flying through,
Get it.
coming in from
Get
the
it out.
northeast. I gotta just let that Mercedes go.
I don't know, man. Should we play some more music?
Yeah. What do you want?
Do you have?
Well, I've got a song.
You got
picked
some?
up.
Do your song.
Do your song. Oh, come on. Yes.
Oh, come on.
I'm all on that. I'm all on that.
love
tip.
it. I was
know
going
I
to
love
suggest that.
Before we go to that song, have you ever done anything in Virginia?
Yes. We've done.
Blue Ridge Mountain?
Not Blue Ridge
No,
Mountain.
we've done Arlington, Virginia. We've done
done
the
the
Arlington
Arlington-
Cinema and Draft House. A great venue to do comedy. And I remember, so funny. We did a show years ago with our buddy. We headlined it. Our buddy Jonah Ray was the feature act, and then our buddy Hampton Yount was the host of the show.
So what did
Local
you
guy.
discover about Virginia then? You were saying you go to cities.
Yeah, what do we
What
learn
was
about
weird
Virginia?
about Virginia? I mean, I love that.
where Deliverance was shot, something like that.
I
So
mean,
we didn't go
that's
that
West
deep
Virginia.
into
That's West Virginia.
That's West Virginia. This is Virginia. We were like the big local attraction is a giant cemetery, and you know you got to feel bad for a town with that if that's like the thing that like
Death is
That's
your,
where you go on a Friday night.
Yeah, death can't
Still
be the
looking.
number one attraction in this town. But yeah, we actually enjoyed it. I loved Virginia. It was around D.C., so there was like a lot of D.C. stuff going on there. We were right out. We were within, I guess, I don't know. We were near the Pentagon. It was a very like you couldn't go anywhere or do anything. No, you had to have clearance to like go to like Starbucks. They had to clear you in.
I'm sure Moonshine was a big thing.
Moonshine. So we went to North Carolina where they had moonshine.
Raleigh, North Carolina, where there was moonshine.
And people, you have like a moonshine guy. Like you,
Everyone's got a guy.
It's like a weed guy.
Yeah, it was like, but in the days before weed was legal in California.
Before
it
there was liquor stores.
Right. It's
You had
like
a moonshine guy.
I got a guy. So like, can you get me some moonshine? Everyone's like, I got a guy. Even the guy doing the moonshine's like, I got a guy.
Even though there's a liquor store down the street.
Right.
Yeah.
But the moonshine is
Moonshine
like made
comes
in a bathtub.
jar. It's made in a bathtub.
And I'm doing something bad. Ooh.
Right. There's something bad. You
There
get
are
it from a car.
People who run up into the hills to get it and then come back down.
Wasn't that how it started with NASCAR drivers? Started the whole moonshine thing. They
Yeah.
would drive up into the mountains and they would make the moonshine and bring it back down. I mean, it's
What
a very.
does anyone know what actually is it?
Is in moonshine?
I tasted it and I wanted to throw up.
Is
It was
it
like
not good?
turpentine.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the
Christ.
worst. It's just like clear.
Paint thinner.
It's bad.
A little bit of rubbing alcohol.
We could have huffed it and it would have been fine. But I drank it and I was like, what did I do?
Yeah.
How dare I?
I drank it and I said I'll never be able to have kids again. Now, granted, I've had my 2 kids. I don't want
And a
any more kids.
vasectomy. So there is no way he could have kids.
But I was like,
that
I will
drink-
never have
I
kids
know a
again.
dude who had a vasectomy and
had a
got
kid?
a girl pregnant.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't take. Should have had some
vasectomy didn't take.
moonshine. He should have had some moonshine. and
Moonshine
then-
would have killed that.
He was a bit, the doctor was a bit stingy on the stitching, I think. Left a
really?
little bit open.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
he's fine.
that's
he just
a
looked at him.
powerful guy. That's powerful sperm.
Yeah.
If you close the door and it finds a way to get through underneath.
Yeah. When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
If there's a little crack under the door,
That's all it takes.
that's
all it takes.
It's a little crack under the door. That's what we
I'd
say.
want my money back from that surgery.
Yeah. I don't know how that works.
I'm like, you pay for the bleeding kid.
Yeah, you take care of him. You because of this, and you're a doctor, and you do this all the time.
You have this kid.
Right.
or you pay for him to go to college. Start putting money away because you have to pay for him to go to
Yeah.
college.
Perfect.
You sold
That's
me.
why I got a ampomesctomy, because I don't want to have kids.
What's an ampomesctomy?
Whatever it's called. What is it called?
Vasectomy?
Vasectomy.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about a whole other thing.
I
where
think
they,
you just
like,
an
they paralyzed you
amponescom-
from like your knees. to your
Amponesctomy
breast.
sounds like you've eliminated all the ampersands in your life. If you write it down, it's just gone. off
Or
the
if he's
page.
near like an amp and he turns it on, then
Yeah.
he can't have kids.
Adam Amp.
Adam amp.
Adam in the amps.
That's
what
it.
he really wanted
That's
to be called.
what I'm talking about.
Really wanted to be called.
This is for Virginia. This is Roxy Music. Take it.
He's trying to trick us.
Ah.
Adam and the ants.
Adam in the amps.
Jonesys Jukebox, KLOS, with my guest, the Sklar Brothers.
The skull.
Look at that. He gave it the
Right.
Denzel
Gave it
twist.
the Denzel. You threw a little English on it. Literally, threw some English on it.
That was You're So Physical. That was a
So
live
good.
live from
Great
the
demo or
BBC.
whatever.
from the BBC. It was.
BBC.
That's what it was. Cool. Then we had Roxy Music, Virginia playing, and you're gonna take off momentarily.
Yeah, this was so much fun, man. As fans of this show, it was great to be inside of it for an afternoon.
What does that mean? That sounded.
What do you
Naughty.
mean? It was
That sounded naughty.
to be inside of it.
No,
To
he's
get
trying
inside of it, to get inside of it, and then pull out just before the
Just
end.
because
feels
I said to
so
Jonesy, "Get
great.
inside me" before we started talking.
It's
What?
just
I don't
so-
understand why
It's
that's
just
weird.
So physical.
trying to be shock.
Shock
just
jocks. That's who
asking.
we are. We were talking to Nick Cave at the Forum, and you were talking about seeing Prince.
I saw Prince at the Forum. Remember when he did like 21 shows at the Forum?
Yeah.
And I saw him do, and he was having everybody open up for him. So like you never knew who was going to open up. That was kind of the thing. Like
Yeah.
keep coming back to see him. First of all, he was out of this world.
Yeah.
Incredible. You're looking at him going. I think at the time he was 52. top of his game. Even there,
Yeah.
you're just like, this guy's unbelievable. You kind of, and I had never seen him live, so seeing him live, I was like, oh, he plays guitar like Jimi Hendrix. He's got a voice like Michael Jackson and can dance like Michael Jackson
Or James Brown.
Or James Brown. I'm like, he does it all. Like most people can do one or two of those things. This guy can do all of them. So Mary J. Blige opened for him, and that was special to see. We didn't know that it was going to happen because we actually did an episode of Entourage. Jay did a few episodes, but together we did one with Mary J. And she was
The best.
amazing. Like, she was amazing. And then there was a moment where you say to yourself, first of all, she came with her entourage of people to the set of Entourage. And you could tell that no one ever says no to her.
Because she showed up in the slippers that you're not supposed to leave the hotel with.
And that told us that no one in her group was like, "Hey, Mary, you're not
think you leave
supposed to
those.
wear those."
I think you leave those
She's
at the
just
hotel.
like, "I'm wearing them." So we're like, "Great."
Yeah.
So we meet her, and she's super nice. Work with her for the whole week.
Yeah.
Unbelievably nice person, like really sweet.
And we didn't want to like bother her. We're like in the scene and we're our characters.
So Jason's character's name was Jeff, and my character, Randy, mine was Jim. So I'm Randy, Jim, Jason, Jeff. You have to know this for the story. So
good.
Mary J.
It's
after
the end of the whole week. I go up to Mary J. and I'm like, hey, I didn't want to bother you, but I just want to say, huge fan of your music, and we're just so grateful that we got to work with you on this episode. And she looks at me, and it's so sincere, so nice, and she's like, thanks, Jim. And I'm like, it's Jeff. I literally couldn't tell her that it's Jason because I couldn't do like the double fix. So she named me my brother's character's name, even though she was playing herself in the show. I think she thought that everyone was just playing themselves. I was like,
Thanks,
we're not
Jim.
really agents. We're actors.
This is a set. We're not in Beverly Hills.
This is
We're
not
in
a real
Culver City
show.
right now. That's a picture of
Those
Beverly
are
Hills.
hotel slippers.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
It was its own hilarious moment. I just felt like I couldn't double correct her. I couldn't be like, it's Jeff, but I'm actually Jeff. So I just said, it's Jeff. It's Jeff. And then I walked out.
Yeah, that was a great story.
Thanks.
That was the mash pie of stories.
Yes.
Mash. On that note, we're going to visit the Duke, and Mr. Shovel's got some info.
Yeah, we were talking about Nick Cave. We have a pair of tickets to give away. KLOS and Jonesys Jukebox welcome Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds to the Forum October 21st. And those tickets are on sale. We have a pair for caller 15 right now at 800-955-KLOS, furnished by Golden Voice.
There it is.
Thanks for coming by, guys.
Thank you.
So
for
much fun.
having
Thank you for
us.
having us. We'll do it again.
It was great.
I love that I just invited myself back.
He was like, no, you won't.
It's like, that's enough.
Well, I'll tell you the truth off the air.
Perfect.
That's the way it goes.
We'll be back in a little bit. Thank you.